Good evening, family. Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, whenever you're watching this. This is New Life Changing Christian Center, right?
It is.
And we are back again with our authentic conversation, discussion. I can't never get the title of it, but
Real talk with authentic discussions.
There we go. And we are back. Thank God we're back. Amen. It's good. It's good to be in front of you guys. Next to me is my lovely wife, Robin.
Hey.
Mr. Marcus.
What it do?
She and my sister, Kathy.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, we are back again.
Round of applause.
Yes, we are back again with another discussion tonight. Another topic. I thought we may elaborated more on the last week because that was a lot, but we jumped. We can go back to it. That's not an issue, right? We switched up. So our topic tonight, before we get into that, go to our social media pages. If you're on one, if you're on the Facebook page, which is New Life Changing Christian Center. No, New Life Changing CC. It's Facebook. Go over to the YouTube page, New Life Changing Christian Center Inc. Go over there, please. And if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and then that notification bell. And also go to our website, which is newlifechangingcc.org.
That is correct.
Correct?
Correct.
All right, cool. All right, we're going to jump right in. And tonight's discussion is loneliness in a digitally connected world. Couldn't get that word out. Loneliness in a digitally. I'm gonna say loneliness in the digitally.
You gotta say it fast.
I can't
digitally
connected world. Loneliness.
Okay.
While we are connected to our devices
virtually.
Yeah. Social media. And sometimes it's not so social.
Right.
Why is there so much loneliness in today's time that we can be so connected so fast and so easily? Right? Right. We can be connected in a millisecond.
Yes.
I can just go to somebody because I have stored in my on my phone faces, like the kids' faces. And so I can just go to the face, hit the face, boom. I can dial the number, right? And I just go to the name, boom, connect. Or I can just go to their page, maybe Instagram or what have you, and just send them a quick message, right? We don't have to wait. We don't have to wait till you get in the house so you can use the phone. You don't have to wait to, you remember back in the day when you had to wait till after 9 or something to get the 3 minutes on your phone.
Oh, wow.
To make a call.
Yeah.
And don't call me before that time because
it
costs,
my God.
It costs $10 a minute or something, right? And
I forgot all about that. How about that?
But now we can just in an instant, a millisecond, connect with someone, right? We can talk while we are in the car. We can talk while we are in the grocery store. We can talk while we are at the gym, right? We can talk wherever. You're in the bathroom, you're in the shower. There's waterproof speakers that you can talk
right
while you're in the shower, right?
Insane.
While you're cooking, you can put up your screen and have a conversation, FaceTime someone.
Yes.
Right? You can FaceTime someone anywhere now, right?
That's so funny. Real quick, when you were saying it, my daughter said, yes, just yesterday, she said, I remember me and my friend, her girlfriend, stayed on the phone for 3 days straight on FaceTime. Slept on the phone.
They was going for Guinness Book of World Records.
I don't know.
Right. So,
but you can do.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You can do that
now.
because it can go in the shower. Just
You
like
can go
said.
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But why? Why is it so much loneliness than it was? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Opposed to back in the day where you really couldn't connect. You had to get face to face,
right?
And if you wanted to talk on the phone, you had to wait till you got in the house.
Yes.
Or you had to use the payphone to talk real quick, but
Yeah.
to have a full conversation,
Mm-hmm.
either face to face or wait till y'all got in the house,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But you couldn't connect so quick and so fast.
Correct.
And everything is so readily available. You can send an email, you can send this, you can
Mm-hmm.
text or whatever you
right now.
And I just want to know why is this such a high rate of loneliness nowadays that we are
Mm-hmm.
so we can connect so easily.
Mm-hmm. But why is there so much loneliness?
Yeah.
Well, like you said, I think it's for the reason that the changes that's come over the years, and so we have more things that's grabbing for our attention than we did back in the day that you were talking about. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like for instance, for families, there was no cell phones, no pagers, no any of that stuff. When we came time for family time, especially like dinner time, we sat down together as a family. So we didn't have anything to distract us. We had to interact with each other. So all of those things, even Marcus right now has earbuds or earpods in his ear. You know what I'm saying? You got the Apple Watches, all of these things. I mean, though they are nice technology to have, I think it has created a disconnect with humans. You know what I mean? In the long run, it has. So I just think it has, because it has been an increase of those things. We just got to be intentional to stay connected with each other.
So, but if I can connect with you, like we connecting right now, right?
Right.
Why is there so much loneliness though?
Okay. Well, you can hear me,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
right? I'm saying that because when we got on, right, you couldn't hear me, right? Even connected digitally, I don't hear you, right? I think we're gonna drive it home, right? So I learned a few years ago with IRL meant, right, in real life, right? That element doesn't exist anymore. Everything is here. Digital needs is attractive now, right? I
Yes.
can go on, like I said, social media. I can scroll for 10 minutes. I ain't got to talk to you not one bit, right? Or we be in the same room and I can
Right.
text you,
How about that?
right, from the same room. It's become attractive now because it's a thing that's been taught now, right? It's a thing that's okay now. And I think, yeah, I got my headphones in so I can hear you guys and my Apple Watch on, which just we actually just rung right when Elder Captain says it rung, so I put my arm down. I don't want it to light up. But those things are tools that we can use for the betterment of ourselves, right? But nowadays, it's like, why, right? Yeah, I got a $300 watch on or $7,000 phone. Y'all know these phones watch expensive now, right? We use them to do what? Nothing. Check stuff. Oh, let me go on Twitter. This here, and I believe that we've lost the art of in-person communication in general, right? Which amplifies the loneliness. If I can't talk to you, even as we're discussing, if I can't talk to you, or even on a platform like this here through the screen, I can't talk to you in real life, right?
Excuse
And
me.
even when we do come together, the digital need divides us. You can sit in a room right now with somebody, one person on the corner on a phone playing Candy Crush, so over here searching Facebook, these two over here texting each other, kiki, just converse together. But it's become attractive now to do so, and it's weird, and it's weird. And I can admit I've done it before. We'll be talking about somebody in the room. You know, you got to talk about somebody you want to know you're talking about them. So you send a message like that, right? Now that's, for me, is different. But I do think that tech has become so attractive that people don't feel a need to have somebody to connect with anymore. Because, like I said, I have over 5,000 followers on TikTok, right? We all know each other. We don't even talk to each other, but we're there, right? I can see you doing every day you post them. I'm there, but I'm still not connecting with you. I know nothing about you. If you my family on there, I don't know most stuff about them either because we're so distant now. And I don't know. It's a big thing to think about, but and it's evolving too, right? It's growing. It's growing. I heard a teacher on TikTok the other day brought up the fact that in her classroom she makes a mission when she comes in there, everybody has to talk to each other because she sees them interacting by just being there, right? And think about if you're in a classroom with 30 kids, you don't know that one person's name in that classroom, and you with them for what, 8 hours a day, 7 hours a day. Is it healthy? No. Is it fun? Sometimes you don't like people, you do what you do. But that loneliness is a real thing when it comes to today. Like I said, I'm there with you. Text me. Don't call me though.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, right. That is so good, Marcus, because just like you said, technology is growing. It's like nonstop. AI has taken over, right? And
Yes.
what I see as well with being lonely, because you can be with someone standing there and still be lonely,
That's
right?
true.
Because you're not connected, right? No one is connecting, but we're connecting with devices. We're connecting with different, machines, different things, different avenues, but we have lost the human being connection.
Mhm.
And I think it's really detrimental to us, especially as we go further, generations go further, because it forms a separation, right? It forms when you see it in the political world. You got sides. I was talking to someone, older gentleman, last week about. He said, "Well, Rob, you got to pick a side." I was like, "No, I'm not on. I don't have to pick a side." You know what I'm saying? It has brought division, and so much division within ourselves, meaning that we won't rely on our own what God has given us to make decisions. We rely on what the trend is or what someone is saying to make that decision. You know what I'm saying? So it's the device is separating us
Yes.
more and more, even though loneliness is loneliness, right? And that's isolating yourself, or you feel like you're being isolated, and you can feel like that even in a family, right? You feel isolated because you're not getting attention. No one is hearing you. No one is seeing you, and you may not sometimes even know how to express yourself, so someone can interact with you. You know what I'm saying? And also in that, with technology, it's made it worse. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't sit with yourself anymore. You sit with the device, and you wait for others to get an opinion, and you grab that and you place it on yourself. So you never, it's so horrible. Like, technology is good, right? It's helped us in so many ways, in business. You know what I'm saying? Our finances, our banking, how we do business, how we can get information. You can sit at home and, just like yourself, Marcus, and write a book and have it published and sent, and you never had to leave your house, right? That's technology. That's AI. That's perfect. You know what I mean? It's awesome, and it allows us to work from home, do remote work things, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? That you don't have to even leave the comfort of your home. But on the flip side, of it, it can be so horrible and negative because it separates us. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to say, I don't want to get all, I know it's churchy but it is the work of this world to separate you.
Yes.
Because if I separate and grab you and have your mind, then I can tell you what to do. Yep. I can tell you how to act. I can tell you who to talk to. I can tell you how to dress. I can tell you how to move. I can tell you how to walk. I can tell you what to buy, when to buy it, how to buy it. And when you buy, that's the best for you. I can tell you what to drink. Don't eat this. Don't eat that. And it runs your entire life. it's really, and I don't like to use the word scary, but it is scary because you think about the next generations that's to come, that's coming up,
and that's
and that's all they know
Yeah.
is that. I'm like, well, is there a pause to it or a slowdown? Because technology is never going to stop, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's always going to grow. And action and AI is growing itself, where it's making itself smarter and smarter and smarter. Then it will outthink. That's where the process is outthinking yourself, right? Because it knows your form and it believes it knows you more than you know yourself. And that's where it's at, and that's where it's going. And that part is very, very scary to me because a lot of us have allowed it to take us over.
Yeah.
We cannot make a decision or make a move unless we pick up the phone or pick up a device and see what's happening for me to make a move today. So who was that?
Right.
That's your God. That is your God. That is your ruler. Is the page, the media page, the opinions of others, not the truth, but it's just the opinions. It's how they feel that day, what they have grown up with, and that's what they're putting out. So now we're following it, and we are actually taking that and put that on ourselves. Now we mimicking that. Yeah. Meanwhile, your background is nothing like that person. You know what I'm saying? Your mama and daddy is not that person. And it's horrible, and it's separating us. So, I mean, it's terrible, right? It's horrible, and it's good at the same time, right? Because it allows us to connect and have these awesome discussions. But then if you go to another page, then there's something detrimental and it's killing you. Where I was talking to a guy about the news because he said we're in a crazy time. I said, well, the world is always in crazy times. If that's been going on for centuries. He said, no, this is different.
Right.
I said, this has been going on forever, right? He said, no, because this is tearing down democracy. You look at the news. I said, I watch the news, but then I separate. He said, how do you stay? I said, I separate myself from it. I listen to it. I hear it, but I'm not in it, right? Because I said, if you watch it too much, y'all watch it to get information. But if I watch it and connect, then I'm going to be misinformed, if that makes any sense. Because the more and more you watch it, the more and more you go into it. Now it's controlling you. Now you definitely misinformed. Because the truth is not the truth anymore, right? According to what's going on the screen. Because it changes daily, does it not? Right. So I was telling him that, and you know how people, when you're talking to an older person, I'm getting what you're saying, and I understand, but then listen to what I'm saying. Because you are being misinformed, and you're being nervous and scared, and you're sitting where you're sitting, and this is nothing is touching you. You good, right? You know what I'm saying? Because your flight is not mine. We're two different areas. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so don't put yourself in my book. I can't put myself in yours. You understand? Because we're two different human beings, got two different walks of life. You way back out here in the woods in the 10,000 square foot era that you don't even hear the roll. You don't hear nothing. So yours is different than what I do, right? We're still human beings, no doubt. So I'm saying to say, it is scary, but it's for his children, God's children, to stop. Like if we stop the nonsense, stop the stupidity talk, stop the ignorant talk, stop trying to get with a trend so we can get followers, so people can like us and just speak his truth. Because when you speak truth, you only get
have a lot of followers.
You don't have a lot of followers.
That's the
when
truth.
You speak something that's heavy for life changing, you don't get a lot of followers. But if I tell you about something superficial, well, everybody likes that. You understand what I'm saying? it's good and bad. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say it like that. But it's horrible, the separation.
Yeah.
I hate the way the world is being separated because of this so-called media, and it's not so social. It's just separating us more, and more. And we think we together, but actually we're not. Because, and that's what I wanted to go back to what Marcus was saying. When someone talks online, they don't hear nobody talking. They're ready to rebuttal, to say so they can get their voice out. But I don't hear what you're saying. I see you talking, but I'm not hearing anything you're saying because I got to get myself out. So everything is bouncing. They just bouncing against each other, and there's no connection. You know what I'm saying? That's what you were saying, Mark. It's like they're not hearing anything because everybody just wants a voice. Because I never had a voice and I never had a platform to talk. Now I'm just going to get it out. I threw it out there. Now what? Now I'm not. It's nothing in return. It's no healing process. It's just me getting it out. So I'm just asking this question. So if I'm getting it out and then it falls flat, then what happens to me?
Because that's exactly what it's doing, is falling flat. Because I find it interesting that everybody can have a say. They may go through a situation. You can almost every time know that this is, you're not just talking because, hey, I had a thought about this. They come online and tell a situation they just went through. Now, they didn't say to the person how they felt or what you did to me, or when you said this is how it made me feel, because of this social awkwardness thing that's out because of this media that's not so social, has made everybody have this social awkwardness. So you can't tell people face to face your feeling, or I didn't like that, or you hurt my feelings when you said . So you get online, like you said, and you start talking, and you talking at this camera that's looking at you. You know what I'm saying? And so you have made what you said like a fact, like it's it's a thing, because you don't have any rebuttals, you don't have anything coming back, but you call yourself kind of like, I'm gonna put this out there so they can hear what I have to say. Well, why didn't you say it to them when you was on the phone with them? Because you hung the phone up, or you left the conference, you left the brunch, and then you come home and make a video, and post. You know what I'm saying? And it's so, it's terrible, because even though I'm here with you, I don't even know how to connect with you when I see you in person. Because energy is different when I see you in person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at you online, but when we're together, the whole vibe changes versus us being online. You know what I mean? And so, people lock up, and like you say, you on the phone, one in the corner over here on the phone, you texting each other, can't even sit at dinner and have a conversation because you don't know how to conversate, because you're used to having your own opinion about something and nobody else gets to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's your opinion, it's how you feel, and this is so. And then I put it out here, boom, I got it out there. That's a fact. Ladies, let me tell you, and I'm like, no, like that. They say, you know what I'm saying? And so, oh my gosh, that oh my goodness, that's so it limits you in so many different ways. Like when you said the AI kind of is working to take over because it knows you better than you know you. You know what I'm saying? That would be easy, because I can only speak when I'm here with AI. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking to the robot. And so, you know what I mean? And so that's the only thing I know how to speak to. And so when you're in front of a human, you get awkward.
Mhm.
And so you don't know how to respond. And so then that kind of takes me to people that's trying to date and do stuff. It's hard to do that because I can send you a picture of me, on these little sites, send you a picture. I can tell you about me. I can say so much. But then when you meet me and our energy come together and it's like, you know what I mean? Because now we together. Now I'm feeling you. I can feel, you know what I'm saying? Because even if you're not a person, that can really, I guess absorb energy or figure out, like what's going on. Even if you feel something when a person comes near you, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, I really like this person. I really don't. Then if I really like them, what I say? But you know what I'm saying? But get home. We finished the date now. We ain't said much or nothing. Get home. I had a wonderful time tonight. You are so handsome. The whole book of stuff. You know what I mean? It's just so, I just think it's terrible. I think it's so hard. And like, how do you teach the ones that are coming up? Like, the Olivias and these kids this is all they know. At least I could say on this line, this age group, even Marcus being the baby of the group, it's about to be not so much the baby no more.
Right.
But I can say that we at least had a touch of having to, what I'm saying, function without this whole digital world thing. These kids, my grandchildren at the tender age of being able to hold something in their hand steady, had an iPad.
Yeah.
And that's how they learn what to say, what to feel, what to this. What you mean when you say that? You're a boy, you're a girl, because that's what you're a grandma, because grandma look like this. You're a pop-pop, because that's what pop-pops look like. I mean, like, how do we bridge that? Like, how do we, what in the world? Because that's a scary thing. That it's only going to be, because I know we're going to come to a place where you don't even see people. It's already, you got machines creating stuff. You got machines at the fast food where it's not even, I don't even, is that in the US where you can go to McDonald's and there's no people in there, it's robots in there. So now you don't have to do that. They got the banks already that you go up and you go straight to the teller window. And you're talking to the screen, and so there's no more tellers in the banks and some of, like, oh my gosh, how do we bridge that gap so that we can kill some of this social awkwardness?
Well, those generations are, to me, they're losing or have lost social skills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't have any social skills. Like you said, your babies or grandbabies only know about the iPad. So we again have to be intentional as parents or grandparents or whatever to cut that, the time on that. Like you said, it has its advantages, but that shouldn't consume your entire life. You have to have a balance of both. You got to know how to function in the world if you didn't have that, even though it is something that's relevant because it's here. Like you said, it's going to keep advancing, it's going to keep growing. But we have to also be intentional to make sure we're teaching our younger generations these social skills as well. And maybe that'll help some of that social awkwardness. Pastor,
So we are those. We are they.
Yeah, we got to teach them. Yeah, really those. Just
Right.
like you're allowing it to teach them the social media stuff, we have to be the ones to teach them the other part of it, because the technology is not going to teach them that. You know what I mean? It's going to give them what it's giving them, which is the trending stuff, what's popular, what's what's this, what's that. It becomes, as Pastor Rob said, they're controlled by, it controls their mind to teach them this is what you're supposed to do, this is what you're not supposed to do. So we have to be intentional.
And I know you said the babies, but it's also some adults, as they say, who are also awkward in open environments with people in real life. Now I'm pro tech, right? I use tech to run my business. I use tech to develop invoices, so on and so forth, to get done. It's a machine that helps you to move smoother. However, I do not believe a child should have a tablet or iPad for the house and then one for the car, right? Why do you need two, right? I also don't believe a child should say, I'm going to the bathroom, let me take my tablet with me, right? Or I'm gonna use this here, cut up on 10, right? And only focus here, right? If you are at try not to get too personal, but it's in our lives where you have certain individuals you come in contact with, and you sit back and say, okay, now I may not be your parent, but when you with me, we not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Even when the God babies come here, we intentionally spend time with them outside of their iPads.
Mm-hmm.
We watch shows, we talk, we have playtime. We're developing those interpersonal skills because when you leave out this house here, you gotta be able to talk to somebody if something goes wrong, right? What happens if you don't have your phone or your watch or your iPad? You have to communicate with somebody. This is what you need. This is what's happening to me right now. And I believe we allowed ourselves to develop a codependency on tech because it's readily available,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
right? We sit back, and it's funny, we talk about media and all this stuff here. Let's go to the movie genre, right? There's a specific movie out there that lets you know what happens if tech takes over,
Mm-hmm.
right? Y'all watch iRobot, right? I'm a firm believer that that can happen because we allow it to. As you said, AI is learning you every day. Every time I plug in something in my device for AI to do something for me, so I got to do it. It's learning how I talk, how I type, words
Right.
I like these words I don't like. You even learn that I don't like punctuations. Robin, you're not going to say punctuation, right? But it's learning that every day. Even if I'm not typing in right now, it's going through
Mm-hmm.
my phone and it's learning what I'm on, what I like, what I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm working with a client right now, and I'm doing their stuff and my stuff at the same time. Right? And I'm using AI to develop a few things that helps me along the way. And it merged both brands. Without me acting, I know we can't do that now. That's this up here. But we as humans, as people, have to say, okay, this is the line here when it comes to allowing tech or anything digital to invade our space, right? Our baby should not say, Mom, Dad, can I get the new iPad? For what? The
Mm-hmm.
old one you got that you just broke up and spilled all that food on does the same thing the new one gonna do, right? But how about we read a book? How about we go outside and play? How about we fall down and know what it's like to fit when it feels like to actually hurt yourself? I'm
Oh
not
my
don't you hurt your
goodness.
babies, right? But let them feel it's like to be outside, right?
Yes.
Like Rob, you said we were at a time we had a call for 9. Before us it was for 7, right? I'm a different age back. For us it was 7, but we just call, right? Hey, I'm calling. Hang up, come right back real quick. So it's free. Boom. If
Right.
y'all don't pay 15 seconds, that call free. Call me back, parent.
Yeah.
You know, now I remember those times. We had those phones coming up. My mama just said, "You called me, hang up, and I know something wrong. I'm gonna call you back."
Right.
Right? Because that's what we had to do. These
Yes.
kids don't understand that what they have now is a privilege, but that privilege can oversaturate the mind,
Yes.
the mental capacity. When now this is what you know here, and it's for the grab. It's for the grab. You can get on any website on that tablet, right? Without the parental control lock, even with that, right? The babies they unlock my iPad without my face or my password. How they did it, I don't know. I don't ask questions no more, right? They know where the Uncle Mark's iPad is over here. I'm gonna look at him so he can know I'm touching it, or no, I'm not supposed to touch it, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it real fast. I'm gonna take the pictures and put it down, right? And that's what they know how to do. But I believe this is my belief that if we draw that line when it comes to allowing things to invade the space, like Elder Kevin said, you have time, you come home dinner times, no phone at the table. Let's sit, let's talk,
Yeah.
right? And not one word answers. Let's elaborate on how we're doing. Let's do that. Let's take time as a family dynamic again and we could actually come together and talk to each other, not about each other, but to each other, right? They'll go home later, say, talk, oh, that cookout was cool. Say that there, right? Post your pictures, do that. Memories. Let's develop them in person. So there's nothing like an in-person conversation. I don't even like texting people sometimes because that stuff gets misconstrued too.
Yep.
Let's talk about it. Let me use the words I learned, right? I may make up some words along the way. We're going to use some words today that you can hear my voice, you get the cadence of what I'm talking about, so you don't think I'm talking about you in a derogatory way. Nothing is misinterpreted or miscommunicated. And that's a skill we need today. If everything we do today, if you don't know how to communicate something, you ain't got nothing. You go to a job interview, what's the first thing to do? What's the first thing to ask you? Right? Tell me about yourself. Why should we hire you here?
Yeah.
What you gonna say? Because I need a job. That's cool. You need the job, but why? How can you benefit my team here? You know,
What are
that's
your
like
skills? They like
iPhone 72.
right.
Right? I could talk to you through emojis. Right? That's like dating. Like imagine if me and Najee would have come together, we just texting on time, got married, and got nothing to say to each other.
Facts.
Boom.
Facts.
And I'm sitting there looking at you, look at me, look at you, and we like, what we gonna do? I don't know. It's mind-boggling because that's what we are today in a society, though. And Rob, we talk about this all the time. These podcasts, they get you right? You go on that podcast, you have that microphone, ain't said nothing. We ain't heard nothing, but we see you talking.
Yeah.
First thing we do, we go to them comments, right? Oh, well, that's what they talked about. No, they not. Because you're missing it here because you're texting through the discussion, which is about nothing most likely, right? But you're taking these opinions here and they've become your opinions. Like I said, this is my trend now. Now, there's been trends for decades, for years, right? They followed them back then, we follow them now, right? In the 70s, it was bell bottoms, right? In the 80s, it was what it was always something there, right? But now it's in your face. This became your clutch, like I said, your God, and you're worshiping now. We talk about them false idols, you're picking them up now,
Yes.
right? And you wonder why you walk the hell did you walk into? Because you didn't put God out the equation here, and you let this device tell you this is what you're supposed to do. Even the Bible app comes up with 72 different translations, right? It reads it to you, give you the verse of the day, right? But are we using it for the betterment or just to post it on somebody say, okay, I know the scripture here. Right. It happens all the time. Again, I use tech every day in what I do. It helps me develop a great business. Right. But I have a line where I say, look, okay, today, maybe let me try to do it for myself today. It may not turn out as best as the AI does when it comes to some graphics, but Rob, we get it in, I get it done. I don't want that to be the crutch I had because I remember there was a time I didn't have AI. Or when my internet connection had to be, unplug the phone line and plug the internet line in there.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Those eras we came over. Remember, we had that. I remember when Wi-Fi was a thing. Right. And I was like, one day it was like, boom, we got Wi-Fi. What's Wi-Fi? Because I remember or the splitter, you get run both your phone and internet. You fancy had that back then. Right. But now you don't need that. Right. My iPad's running on Bluetooth right now. Headphones I connected to nothing right now. Right. My watch is its own phone line.
Right.
It's there. But the question we ask ourselves now is, do we use it to better ourselves? Right. Or to be a part of the fad, the trend, the rotation of everything that's happening, because it all comes around. This watch this is not even the newest watch. It works well. I ain't gonna trade it in. But they don't bet you they called me tomorrow and say you got to upgrade. Right. What they on iPhone 77? 13. It works well. Right? Hello, goodbye. Right? But again, like I said, why are we allowing this stuff to take the place of this here? I love talking to y'all. The moment y'all stop talking to me, I'm gonna knock on the door for something ain't right.
Right.
Type thing, because that's how we learned. That's how we came up. See, it's ringing again. Cut it off. See, doorbell connect to it. Someone press the doorbell. Boom, right there.
Right.
But without those communication skills, those human being skills,
Mm.
we just there looking like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
weird.
and it, and that's what it's doing. And y'all said it. That's what it's doing. Is separating us, and that's where the loneliness comes from, because it's separating. You think you got friends, and you think you got a lot of followers. Well, it's just people that just hit a button, right? And they just want to see, okay, what you post today. If it's sad, then I can feed off of it. This, that, but it's never a true connection. God created us in His image. God created us to be in relationship with one another, right? We should not be alone. And as good and awesome as these platforms and technology is awesome for business, like I was saying, it's also separating. It's also taking us away from, like you said, my natural human connections, natural relationships that I can talk, that I don't have to. It's not forming an opinion and listening to someone. I can talk. It takes and it has taken away true friendship. You know what I'm saying? It's taken away, because I understood true friendship. I didn't understand it younger. We just had friends, of course, right? But as you get older and coming into the kingdom, I understand true friendship, true love. You know what I'm saying? And the media technology separates it. And then what it does, it accelerates us, because now we don't have patience. We think everything's supposed to happen like this. If I said this, then you should like me and we should be good. Or I dropped this on you, so it should be good now. No, I can't. How you don't build a relationship in a flick.
No.
You know what I'm saying? You don't build a honest, strong relationship in one swipe in a millisecond.
And it's not built on just what you think.
Right.
How you feel about something.
No, it's interaction with both. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you form the relationship. And so it's accelerating us where we're not supposed to even be accelerated in that manner. Our minds are not even supposed to be accelerated like that. Because that's why, the media is like a drug. Is the what do you call it when you get like a dopamine? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it gives you a quick high. I need to grab my phone so I can see what's happening. So what is happening now is accelerating us, because we feel like, okay, I gave you time. You're not giving me what I need right now. Okay, you gotta go. Bye. You know what I'm saying? I just like, how do you? Plants don't even grow that fast, right? You know what I'm saying? Stuff that actually forms something that's of substance doesn't even grow that fast. And then it has our mind thinking like our babies. I see the generation now with the young ones that have little kids. They want the kids to go in there and cook their own meal, take care of themselves, go in there, take yourself to school. You understand the problems of the world. I ain't got no money today. How is a baby supposed to understand you don't have money? They don't understand that, right? But you should understand that, because we are accelerated. And it's aging. If you notice, also it's aging our babies. They're coming into they have a mature mindset. Now, don't get it twisted. These babies coming up, they're very alert, very smart. But then it's accelerating it past to what you going past childhood. You going past learning the process. And you're sort of jumping past, like you said, Marcus, you're jumping past the getting on the bike, scraping your knee and tearing it up. Now I'm 50 today and I still got that scar. Right. And I remember when I fell, and that's a memory because I was with my family, with my cousins, and we was doing this. You know what I mean? It's we are accelerating past actual human growth and learning. And it's separating us. If you notice in the world, we are so separated, because even sometimes, even with New Life, let me say this, sometimes we come together, everybody stand around, look for a minute, because and it's not a bad, what I'm saying, it's natural because of what's happening today. The devices has us connected, but then when I see you in flesh, first, it's like
Hi.
What I'm gonna say, because now what happens is, and like y'all was saying, now I see you.
I see
Yeah.
you.
I'm not just showing you right here,
Oh,
Yes.
shit.
but where I
That's
want you to
good.
see.
Yes.
Now you seeing my whole
That's
everything.
good. That's
and
good.
now sitting across, and now when you talking,
Mm,
you got to be true.
mm.
You understand? The talking has to be true.
Yes.
The talking can't be BS.
That's a whole.
But see, you can go
mouthful.
on FaceTime and say, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm in the store. All right, I gotta talk to you later. Bless you, be blessed. I gotta go. Boom. And then you go off crying and you sad and you going somewhere. But when
in
we saw
person.
in person, when I say how you doing, I'm doing good. And you taking breath, your
Yes.
eyes flicking all over. You can't look at the person directly in the eyes. You gotta look at
Lord
checking
have
out the
mercy.
shoes, you
Yeah.
checking everything else out. Then you see the person. So that now you're vulnerable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We have missed that, and then we want to
Ooh,
go back into
that's good.
our cocoon. So that's what media, that's what the technology is really doing,
Mhm.
and that's what the world, that's what the adversary wants to do, is continue to separate you.
Yeah.
Because if you come together as one and speaking truth, you know how much power that is.
Mhm.
When everybody's on one accord, that's what Heavenly Father wants us to be, right?
Yes.
And line up as one. If we line up as one, as a unit,
Mhm.
it's so powerful. It won't be a loneliness. No one will be off.
Mhm.
Everybody will be as one together. Because in what? In love.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's so powerful when we do come together. And then, when we do
Yeah.
come together, it's so powerful. And then you get the breakdowns, because now I'm breaking that facade down.
Right.
You see me,
Yeah.
right? You see me. You
Mhm.
see what I look like. You see everything about me. You know what I mean? You see me.
Mhm.
And God's children should be wanting to be seen.
Yep.
We shouldn't be hiding. We shouldn't be in the facade. We should not be faking. We should not be in that. We should see that even if our brothers and sisters are lonely or feeling separated.
Mhm.
Just like I think Marcus, you were talking about connecting with the millennials, the younger generation, and connecting with them, because you got to see them no more online. Let's face to face,
Mhm.
because interaction and connection and touching,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? When you touch someone and you're sitting there as one, oh man, there's so much. It's so powerful in that. There's so much power in that.
Yes.
You can change, and someone just sitting next to you,
Yeah.
and you're not even saying anything. Y'all just in the same room together, feeling the love, and y'all sharing, breaking bread together. And that's more powerful than you sitting there trying to come up with something to say while you on FaceTime. You know what I'm saying? So we are missing that, and it's time out, and we need to change that. And even with the younger generation, right? Like y'all just saying, yeah, it's time to stop and get the interaction. Just like when we took the grandbabies to, we was at the beach, Ocean City. Like they got so much, they enjoyed it so much to get their feet in the sand, feel the air.
They didn't even think about that.
They wasn't worried about no iPads.
No.
They was enjoying this, digging their hands in the sand, making sand castles and stuff like that, which actually connection and walking and checking out stuff and seeing things and hearing and getting all your 1,000 senses together. You know what I'm saying? And feeling it, and then feeling the love. We missing out on that as real human connection. We are so in we're running 1,000 miles an hour going nowhere, right?
Yeah.
We're just moving and moving and we can't stop. You know what I'm saying? Because of what's going on, and it's tearing us apart. You know what I mean? It's really tearing us apart because we gotta, just like we coming up with different topics. And I said we're gonna elaborate on the next, and we're gonna start doing that on the next, because you gotta come up with something new. You can't do that because the people get bored. I need something else. You got to jump in with something. You got to keep kicking with something because you're gonna get bored. And that's what we have been conditioned. You know what I'm saying? It takes time. Stuff takes time.
Yes. Yes.
If you notice a home, or I can say even a car, that takes time when they putting it together and they building it by hand, it takes time.
Yes.
Because you're putting something that's precious together. You building something that's so awesome, and as you're building it together, it's memories in that. You know what I'm saying? As you're putting these relationships together, it's memories in it. just like in a marriage, right?
Mhm.
I heard a minister say that when he got married, he thought that the other person just supposed to know him and y'all just be good. He didn't know there was two different individuals in the relationship, that the other person has a feeling, and this he figured that the woman supposed to know the man, and you just do, everybody keep moving. He didn't get that there's two separate individuals,
Right.
and you have to work together. You know what I'm saying? And you have to build this relationship
Yeah.
and work on this. You know what I'm saying? And continue to grow it. We're missing that.
Yeah.
And that's where I believe all the loneliness comes in, is the separation that is happening. You know, you feel not, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have the truth. There's no realness in this. There's no realness in social media. You know, it's
all opinion.
It's all in what I want you to see to show off. Right? We gotta stop it.
Yeah.
We got to stop. And it's time for us to chill and grow up, and God's children need to stop. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And what's the word, Marcus? You gotta stop being stupid.
Stop being stupid.
Stop being stupid.
We should put on a shirt.
Yeah, stop being stupid. Exactly.
And we are the they.
Right.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
That now have to stand up and make change, like you say. I guess that's that bridging the gap that I was asking about. As much as you get social media, I'm gonna give you human touch.
Yes.
You know, and I'm gonna show you still need human touch. You know,
and talking. And I heard a guy.
Mm-hmm.
My mother sent me a clip of a guy. It was him. We met him at the gym. He's here in Maryland, and he was talking about these young guys he saw walking down the street. He was on his way to work, and they were it looked like they were cold. And he said he pulled his truck over, like, "Hey, y'all need a ride to school?" And they was like, "What's up, OG?" And they was a little standoffish, but he said, "No, I didn't take y'all to school. Y'all cold." And he said, "I'm gonna pass by your school." So they got in, and they was like, "OG, this truck was old." They saw, killing him about his truck and all this. And then they was talking about having fathers. He said, "Well, your father ain't here." Once somebody's father was locked up or something, they start dogging each other. And then he said, "You want to go to Make It D's?" And he said, "What is that, OG?" He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. It's McDonald's."
Make it D.
Yeah. So he took him to McDonald's. And in that, what he was saying is the kids, instead of judging them, you know what I'm saying? Because they had shiesties on and all that type of stuff.
Right.
Instead of judging them,
They still children.
they still babies.
Yeah.
They still looking for a connection.
Yes.
Stop judging and stop and talk. And they got out of the truck and they thanked him so much because they said, "Is this what a father feels like, having a father?" You know what I'm saying? So just that, he said, then when they got out of the truck, they said, "Well, you still need to get a new truck." So they still, even in their digging, he was showing they still cared, right? It was still loving that they were getting out the truck and going to school, that he had picked him up, got him some breakfast, and took him to school. This showing that, right? Yeah. Just that little bit of attention that didn't take a lot out his day.
Right.
It didn't, it didn't kill him that he had the money to get them some breakfast. McDonald's is not expensive for breakfast. We all know. Just taking them and taking time out his day, that whatever, how long it took, changed them young men's life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
never
saying?
Forget OG.
Right. They never forget that time or him, right, taking them to school. I think we missed that. We're missing that because we bypass people. We don't speak. We don't talk.
Yeah.
We in a hurry.
Yeah.
We don't do these things. And I'm gonna go back to God's children.
Yes.
We should be doing those things. You know what I'm saying? Showing love.
Yes.
Showing understanding. Not turning our nose up. Not judging someone. You know what I'm saying? And because you see that all day long. There's judgment online. There's judgment here. You judge at home. There's so much judgment. God's children shouldn't be judging. It should. We should be showing love.
Yeah.
You know, and understanding. Because we all have a past. We all have walked through something. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know what that young man, young woman is walking through. I was telling Robin about something I saw today, and it bothers me. About our young women and young men. But you got to take time and stop judging.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And see where that person is. Go back to what you're saying, Marcus. Human interaction, which I was saying.
Yep.
We need that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We
Yep.
gotta have that.
Yep.
We gotta have that, and we
Yes.
gotta understand and calm ourselves down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nonsense, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Stop walking past each other like you don't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Stop being mean.
That's it.
Right? Stop being mean.
LOVE.
And turn your face up to people too.
Huh? Say it
I
again.
said, you said stop being mean. I said, and turning your face up at people too.
Yes, just stop for no reason, right? You have no idea
Mhm.
what that person is going through. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You have no idea what's happening.
You was talking about the young men. I literally just had this to happen last week. It was about a month or so ago. A young man moved into our building, and I just spoke to him, asked him how he was doing, because he saw me coming in the building and he wanted to know if I needed help with my bag, and I told him I had it. I appreciate him asking, and he said something about you was different. He said, I don't get people to ask how I'm doing. And that blew me. And I mean, he's a young man. I'm like, well, why wouldn't I ask you how you doing? You spoke to me, I spoke to you, and made eye contact with each other. And he was like, I just usually don't get that. So yeah, like you said, we gotta stop and take time to interact with people. You pass by people every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It makes
you walking past a lonely person. You walking past a person that's feeling isolated or doesn't have anyone to talk with. And they ain't even ask them, like you said, how are you doing today? Concerned and sincerely concerned about how you feel.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They don't. Love is missed. There's no love online. There's none whatsoever.
Not a stitch of it.
Not whatsoever. No, you can't. No, that's not it. Human interaction. Well, we're gonna end it.
Yeah, another great discussion.
Yes, absolutely.
I feel like that's really good because that is a thing that we are all dealing with. So another great discussion, fam. Thank y'all so much.
Yes. Thank you. It was cool.
Again, joining us. And I'm just going to keep saying this. If y'all don't give us topics, we going to make them up. So.
I'll go back to the old ones.
Right. We can elaborate on them old ones.
Right. Elaborate on the old ones.
Right. You're going to be stuck listening to what we want to talk about.
But it's real life discussion.
It is
right?
real life
discussion.
discussion.
It's real life.
I mean,
issues
absolutely.
That people go through. Now, you may not want to talk about it.
But that's what I'm saying. People may not want to talk about it.
You may not want to talk about it, but it's there. And it's real life. It's real life. We all go through it. You know what I'm saying? I thank God for the platform and able to discuss it. You know what I mean? I hope some nuggets that were said. We're not no doctors or no psychologists or psychiatrists. We're just things that we have experienced in life. You know what I mean? And coming into the kingdom and believers in the Most High.
That's it.
That He has taught us, He has shown us things that we have walked through. He has allowed us to walk through, and being in truth and loving ourselves. Right? Because that's it right there. And knowing the truth. And basically not caring when nobody think about you.
That part.
Because when you're in Him,
that part, right? That part.
That's when you're free. You're free. You're free.
Yeah.
Amen. So we thank you, family. Thank you. Thank you, panel, family, whatever. Thank you, love y'all. Thank y'all so much.
We appreciate you guys, and to our virtual family, thank you guys for being on with us. We will be back next Wednesday, 8:15. We'll be back in place with another authentic discussion, right?
Yep.
Real talk, real stuff that we deal with every day. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.